when you think about the academic interview process, for example, a lot of it is professors at a university deciding whether or not they see you as a colleague they can spend the rest of their lives with or the rest of their career with. And so in determining that, you're not just looking for who's smart, but is this person, do they listen to other people? How do they, explain things? So typically you go to a school, you give an hour-long talk, and then you meet with faculty throughout the day. And I think those leadership abilities help me, one, to understand the perspectives from somebody else's position, right? Two, it taught me how to look for help. So before I did my interviews, I did some mock interviews. I reached out to some mentor to get advice, and it allows me to interact with people more naturally. I think sometimes engineers, we pigeonhole ourselves because we haven't developed those soft skills. So we get in a conversation and we get very technical very quickly. And people don't want to have us at those important meetings because the engineer is going to go off in a tangent. And so I think those skills are very important as we think about leadership and trying to change the way these fields are, right? We have to be the leaders that we wish we had growing up, or the leaders that we want to see in engineering. And I think that it requires developing those social skills. And then I think CED was very critical in providing that environment. And then USC, I think with my advisor, a lot of practice and things like that we did for our presentation, and then just having an opportunity to go to different conferences, I think allowed me to, showcase those abilities and develop and refine those abilities as well.
Coming in as a young engineer, it was interesting. They really harp being like a well-rounded student, right? Not just only being about the books. So having so much experience in leadership, and I was also in leadership in Iowa, you're so much better equipped to answer questions in interviews to where you can be a standout candidate when you've worked on interesting research projects, done stuff outside of work, because they ask so much stuff about like soft skills. They're asking, how do you do conflict resolution? How have you led a team? Those are the questions you need to be prepared to answer. They're much less technical. As a matter of fact, my first meeting at the districts, I was taking over a project. The person had told me what was going to happen in the meeting, and we've talked it through. I had a meeting, and there's like department heads. There's these all these people have been at the districts for 20, 25 years. I gave my update. After I gave my update, the room was silent, and they were like, wow. And I hadn't even done anything. It was simply the fact that I projected my voice and I wasn't using a bunch of filler words, and I clearly wasn't like uncomfortable speaking in front of people. It has made such an impact in my career, simply being comfortable speaking in front of people. Because so many engineers aren't. That's it. It's really easy as an engineer if you're not like super scared to stand out. It's all it is. And if you look at all the highest people in the company, most of them are people, and they can also be super smart and really good at taking out bullshit and calling out mistakes and looking at calculations. But they have a gravitas. You need a little swagger. That's my advice.